Good morning, everyone. Again, welcome you to the fourth day of the online training session. So before starting, I'll give some answers to the questions raised before. So the first one is in grading. In assignments, it is not possible to add grades. Professor Siddharth answers question, and there were some other people who have asked the same thing. So let me show you something there. Yeah, here in grading, assignment grading. Sorry. In assignment, there is a field called grade. In here, instead of point, you can select scale, and you can select default competency scale, and that will give only two.
Akila, can you share your screen?
Sorry, sir. Sorry. Okay, I think you can see my screen. All right,
It's okay, right?
I'll start from the beginning again. So here in the assignment, you have to go to settings, edit settings, and I can see grade field, grade. And here instead of type means we have to give a mark, so we can select scale. And as the scale, we have to select default competency scale. So this will give only 2 grades. So I'll show you that. Yeah, I'm going to save this one. What I did was I select the type as scale and the scale to the default competency scale. I'm going to save that one. Then I'm going to log into the student mode. So student can attend and the answer. Okay, when the students submit the assignment, we can go to the lecturers one. Here, you can see grade submit for grading and grade. And now we can select only these two ones, competent and not yet competent. So otherwise, if you want to give A, B, C, or some kind of that kind of result, a grade, then we have to use this feedback section for that one. There is no selecting A, B, C, or automatic grading system here for assignments. So this is the only way that I think that we can do it. Okay. After that, the next question was how we can edit the text in description and all. So this is how we can do it. Sorry. Here, so this is the way the subject shows the description of the subject. So what I can do, I can go to settings in subject, edit settings. Here, this is the description of the subject. So we have changed the panel of text editing panel. Now we can see there are a lot of icons here. So if you want to add an image and some text, so it is better we suggest that you can use tables. So let me give you an example here. So I'm going to add a table. So you can use this table icon. If you don't see these ones, here this is the expand icon. So you can click on expand icon, then you can see the other hidden icons there, the advanced icons. And then click on the table. Then from this one you can give how many columns and how many rows you want. So here I'm going to have one column with 2 rows. 1 column and 2 rows. Then insert. Okay. So sorry, I'm going to add 2 columns with 1 row. Insert. And here for the first column, I'm going to insert an image. So this is how we can insert image. You have to click on this image icon, and you have to click find or upload an image. After that, you can browse the image. Then I want to select one image. Then open it. Upload this image. And again, this space is very important. Here in the advanced, you must select the size of the image. So normally this is the pixel points of the image. So 1600 is a very large image. So it is better that we can reduce that to 200 or below 200. So it will automatically adjust the height and the width when we change one. So then you can insert. It will give you an alert that you haven't given description here. So it is, you can ignore that one. You can press OK. Right. So the image is added. Then I'm going to copy some text there. In the next column of the table, I'm going to paste some text. Then selecting the text, you can edit the font size. And if you want to add a topic here, something. And again, if you want to format the topic, you can select it. And you can select it as a heading. Or you can bold it. Again, increase the font size. And if you want to change the color, you can see the icon here. This is the icon for changing the color of the text. So you can change the color. Again, if you want to add some points, so you can add like this one, and again you can make it as a list. So you can select them, and from here you can select the list. Again, again, if you want to add some other tables, I mean, for if you're going to give some schedule to the student, then again that is possible. You can add another table here. So I'm going to add another table. So initially you can't see the table because it doesn't have any value there at the beginning. So you can like this, you can expand the table and see. So first I'm going to say the date and the lesson. So then date maybe then I can format the table. Similarly, I can use these formatting commands, like I'm going to increase the size and can bold it. Again, increase the size. And if you can add the background color here. This one. And again, when you're going to create tables, so if you want to add more columns or rows into the table, so this is how we can do it. You have to right click on the table. Then you can see a panel here. In the menu, you can see cells, rows, insert new row before, after, like that. So you can edit the table after creating that one using this right click. Okay. If you want to add more tables, then you have to go to table again. This is how you can create a interesting, I mean, a good way of presenting your subject with a description and other schedules and everything. Okay. So I think we got the. If you have any questions, please ask regarding this text editor. Okay, so if you want to change the image size again, so what you have to do is just click on the image, and you can see the image icon here, and click on that icon, go to appearance, and then again you can change the size. Okay.
Is there a way to import anything like for this field from a Word document or something?
Yes, sir. So you can import from there. I mean, if you can create the things in the Word. After that, you can copy it. Then you can use this icon here. When you move the mouse point, it will show you the label. So paste from Word. So what you can do, just click here and paste the content in this window. but that will not give you the colors and other format into the text that you have done in the Word. Only the text will be copied with the font sizes and other things. The color formattings and other will be removed when you're going to copy through this one. So it is okay that you prepare the document with Word and paste it here, and again the other colors and other formattings that you can do from here easily. Did I answer you, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a limitation. That's okay.
So there's a limitation, so yes. Again, fonts can be changed. So you can save and display. Then you can see here. When I go to the course, the description is shown here. Okay. So any questions? Right. Let's move to the next part. So okay. Today we're going to discuss about the other things that we can add with the subject. Other we have turn editing on, and other activities and resources that we can add. So the first one is chat. So you can add a chat room to the session, I mean your subject. So you can interact with the student online at the same time when you do the subject or when they are referring the subject. So you can give them a time and ask them to chat. So this is how you can do it. You have to click on chat, add it. You have to give it a name. Again, if you want, you can give it a description. Save and return to course. Right. So let me show you how student can see that. When the student click on this, click here, enter the chat now. So this is the view, and I'm going to type something. So this is student's chat. I'm going to close this. Right. So in the teachers one, when I go into that, you think you can see there are no chats shown here, right? So that is okay. It's coming now, right? It's because it's a live one. So the previous chats will not be shown in this window when you close this one and come again. So this is a live one. I mean, we have to interact with the student at the same time. So now I have added Kitsiri Samargon as a student here. So now we can see when he chat. I can send him a chat. Again, there are some themes. You see. So all the students who are enrolled to the subject, they can chat with you when you are in the chat room. So if you leave this one, I mean, if you close the window and leave, then you can't see their chats. But there is a way. I'm going to close this one now. Here you can see view past chat sessions. So when you click that, now you can see the session. Okay. So this is the chat session, but this is a report of that one. We can't do any editing, or we can't chat again. We can't send text again. So it's a report. If you want to if you want a live chat, you have to be in the room. I mean, you have to open the chat room and be there. Okay, so that is how chat works. Any questions regarding chat? Right. Next one then. The other one is choice. So choice means in the lecture, in the subject, you can give a question. So I'm going to show you it now. Let's say so this is the question that I have typed, and again this is the place where I can give the answers. So like that you can give options. Again, if you wish to, users or the students can update their choice when they submit. After submitting that one, then you have to put this one to okay. Sorry, yes. So I'm going to set it to no, and save and return to course. So now I have given a question here. Can you use uploaded notes? Then what student can do is I'll show you that. I'm going to log out from my one and log in again as the student. The student can see the choice here, and when he click that, the question will be appeared. Can you use the uploaded notes? Then they can give their choice and save my choice. Give me 1 minute, please. Okay, sorry for the delay. Here, student can give their choice, yes, and save my choice. Right. So then I'm going to log out from students one and log in again to my session, the subject. Okay, so this is the question or the choice that we have given to the student. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see the responses here. View one response because we have only one yet. So I can click on view one response, and so these are the responses here. So it gives you this kind of table. It says a number of responses, and for yes option only one response, no option no, and difficult no. And again these are the people who have response to this one. So when the more students going to reply, this number will increase. And again if there are no choices, then that will increase here. So again this option can be used to check whether students are participating in your session or whether they are accessing the session. You can give them a question or you can give them a choice and can check whether all the student has answered. So the list of the student who have answered the question, or I mean the choice, it will be listed here. Okay, so that is choice. Anything regarding choice? If you need any more clarifications.
Excuse me, Akila.
Yes, sir.
Can we use this to give them MCQ multiple choice questions like midterm test and
yes, sir. There is a way. I'll show you that in next one. There is a way. This is just to ask ask one question and see, check whether they have got understood that one, or well they received the notes or anything, like just a small feedback.
Okay.
It's like something like we just ask, did you understand, that kind of one.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Right. Next one. The other one is feedback. So in the subject, we can give a feedback form. So what you can do, you can just select feedback and add it here. Right. I'm going to give it a name. Again, if you want, you can type a description. Please fill the form and submit like that. Right. Here, question and submission settings. Anonymous and username will be logged and shown with the answer. So you can, you have choice whether you're gonna have anonymous feedback, or if you want the feedback from individual. I mean, by knowing who is the one give the feedback. So you have the choice again. So you can select anyone depending on the requirement. And now I'm going to save this one. Right. See here, I'm going to create only the feedback form. Now we can click on that. After that, you can edit questions. First, you have to create the feedback again. Okay. Go to add activity, feedback, and you can give it the name. Again, the feedback type, select the type, and then you can create it. After creating the feedback form, then only you can add questions. So when you click on that, you can see this window. And here you can see edit questions. Click on edit question. And from here, you can give a question. Say, it's a multiple choice. Again, choices. Multiple choice, multiple answers. We have to select that one. Right here, this is the place where we can give choices. So use one line for each answer. So each line will be accepted as one answer, one choice. Okay. So I'm going to give yes and no. Then save changes to question. So I'm going to add another question here. Let's say a short answer. So again, you can limit the number of characters, and you can save. So in our feedback form, now we have 2 questions. If you want, you can add more in your feedback ones. So I'm going to leave this one. Then I'm going to log in again as a student here. So log out and log in. So when the student go into the subject, they can see the feedback form. So they can click on that, answer the questions. Right. Now here you can see the questions are shown here, listed them here. So if the session good, we can say something, anything, and you can submit your answer. The students can submit your answer. Okay. Then continue. So I'm going to log out from the student. Right, now you can see the feedback form in your one when you log as a lecturer. So click on the feedback form, and again you can see 2 questions, submitted answer 1, and show responses. Here, response number 1 for this question, yes, and the other question, this one. So like that, all the questions that we have listed in our form will be shown here in the table, and all the answers with the response number. So this option will be very useful, I think, if you want to have a feedback, online feedback form with the subject. So it is very easy. What you have to do, just add the feedback form, create the feedback form after adding that into the subject, and then you can publish that one. So when you publish it, every student can see who are the people who have enrolled to your subject. They all can see, and they can just click and give their answers. Okay. So feedback form. Any questions regarding this one? Any clarifications?
Small analysis on that?
No, madam.
No, eh?
No. We can just take the answers or the responses here. Only we can.
Just we can take separately to some other folder, no?
It shows just a table, like just a chart like here. How many yeses, how many no for the first question, and it's like Google form.
Right. Okay.
So if there are responses, it shows the percentage.
Right.
With the
Okay.
table. You can see here, analysis.
Okay.
Only that is possible.
Right.
Okay. After that, forums we discussed. The next one is quiz. So I'm going to create a quiz now. Click on the quiz, add. So when you're creating a quiz, you have to give it a name and timing. This is very important. You have to enable these two when the quiz is going to be open. So if you until the time comes, the quiz will not be accessible by students. They can see the quiz, and again when they're going to access that one, it will give them a message that this is not available yet. Only it will be available from this time. Still until that you can't access this one. So again, close the quiz. So that this is the date or the time which you're going to close that one. Normally we suggest if you're going to give them a quiz, so start if it is a 30-minute quiz, so better you can add some 5 minutes later and 5 minutes before that. So time limit, you can give 30 minutes or something. If it is a 1 hour 60, or you can use day hour in that format also. So hour 1. So when this time completes, the quiz will be automatically submitted. Here, open attempts are submitted automatically when the time comes, when the time expires. Right, the next point is grade. Here, this is the important one, attempts allowed. So it is better that you select 1 attempt per student. Otherwise, they can do the quiz and again they can log into system again and they can modify the quiz. But you will see how many number of times they have accessed the quiz. I'll show you that. So here I'm going to make it unlimited because I want to show you how students going to do that. Okay. Then layout, every in new page, every question new page. So then only one question will be shown in one page. Then question behavior, if you want to shuffle them, yes. Review option, this is very important again. So these are 3 categories that we can edit: immediately after the attempt, later when the quiz is open, and again after the quiz. So if we show them the attempt, you can see whether correct or not. Attempt means they are what the answer they have selected. So if we give this option, when the student complete the quiz, they will see what are the correct answers and whether they have given the correct answer and everything. The right answer also will be shown to them. So if you are using this quiz in a lab or somewhere, then the other student can see the next compute and they'll see this is the correct answer for this one, like that. So when you're going to prepare a quiz, make sure that you have removed this icon, the attempt. If you're going to give this, if you're going to have this in a lab, right? So otherwise it is okay. And here, and this is after quiz is closed. So if you wish to your student to refer the quiz again and see what are the correct answers and learn from that, so then you can allow this one, that and the right answer and everything. After that, here overall feedback. So according to the marks that student have received, you can choose an overall feedback. So here in this review options, if you want, you can remove marks, and you can let them to see only the feedback, whether A, B, C, or something like that, or good, average, bad, like that, anything, the feedback. Again, if you want them to see the marks, you have to check this one, mark. Then overall feedback here. So you can see this is 0 and between 100. So I'm going to say 100 to 80. I'm going to give him a pass. Let's say A. B. Again, from 80 to 60, let's say B pass. So what you have to do here, you have to make the boundary, and you have to type it 80%, not only 80%. So that means 80 above 80% and in between 100, the student will have A pass, and in the next one, this one, 0 to 80%. If you want to categorize more, then you can add more fields like here. Now you can say here B. I'm going to bold that, and again 60%. So this means 60 to 80. Again here 40. So let's say C. Again between 0 to 40, I'm going to say F. Right, then you can save the quiz. So this is not compulsory actually. If you want, you can give it. Now the quiz is created. So after creating the quiz, we have to add questions. So you can click here, and you will see edit quiz, the button edit quiz here. Right. So there are several ways that we can add questions to a quiz. The first one, if I show you here, 3 options are there. You can add a new question direct to the quiz, or you can create a question bank and you can add questions from there, or you can add random questions. For both these last options, we must have a question bank. So I'm going to pause this one here and tell you how you can create the question bank now. So before that, you have to go to the subject. In the subject, you can you can see the settings icon. In the settings icon, more, you have to click more, and after that you can see question bank at the bottom of the more interface, and I'm going to click questions. So here this is very important, questions and categories. So categories I'll show you. So these are the categories now I have in this section. I mean I have created the course in ICT Center category. So in that category, these are subcategories that I have. So you can see ICT Center is here, and question like that. These are the categories that I have prepared. In your faculties, you can see your departments, and yeah, you can see your departments there. So now it is very important that you select the correct category. For example, if you're going to create a question bank, and after that you're going to use the same questions for a next batch or in some other subject, so then you can't access the question bank if you have created that in a faculty, or sorry, in a department. So in that case, if you have to create the question bank in your faculty level category, in a top level category, I think you got me. So this is where you can select the category, questions. Here, select the category. So in this one, if I select this one, top for sample subject, so that means this subject, if I add the question bank to this one, the questions will only be available only for this subject. I can't use them in any other quizzes which I going to create in other subjects or other year or something. So this is the other, I mean here, this is top for IT Center. For you, it is the faculty. So if you select this one, the questions will be added to the faculty level category. Here, this is the category. Again, the thing is, if I going to add some question here, and again some other lecturer going to add some questions to the same category, then this question will be in the same question bank. So again, that will create a mess. So here what we have to do, go to categories in question bank, and in that categories you can create a new category. So in this place you must select the top category here, your faculty. In your faculty you can create your own question bank, your own category. So then when you select the parent category as the faculty, then this question bank or this subcategory will available for any subject that you're going to create under the same faculty. So I'm going to create a question bank here. I'm going to say test 1, add category. Now when I go to this questions section, I'm going to create some questions here. So before that I should select the category that I have created. So now you can see this is under top for ICT center. If in your case, that will be your faculty, under your faculty. So I'm going to select test. So here, from here I can add some questions. I'm going to create one, create a new question, and it's a multiple choice. Add something. Some question. Sorry. You have to create the question number here and the question. And these are the answers. And one answer must have 100 marks in multiple choice. 100 marks. Again, the next choice here, not this one, this place. Again, if you're going to give some less marks for that answer, you can select. If not, you can select none. And the third choice, something. So after that, I can save the changes. So the first question is added, and I'm going to add another question here. Okay. Right now I have two questions in this category. I mean the category that I have created as test 1. So I'm going to go to category again. I'll explain why I'm going to create two categories here. Okay. So the next category for ICT center, same top level category. This is test 02 at category. Again, I'm going to add another two questions there. So you can see now I have selected test 1. That is why these questions are shown here. So I'm going to select test 2 and add a new question. Let's say it's a short answer. And we have to give the answer here. In this type of questions, I mean in short answer questions, you can give multiple answers. Here I'm going to give WSL and I'm going to give 100 marks for that. Again, if some student may type this whole world, so I mean Wayamba University. Again, for that also I'm going to give 100, or if you're going to be to give less mark, you can select. Okay. So these can be the right answers. Now save changes. I'm going to add another one. in short answers, better to give multiple answers like this one, because students may type the answer in several formats. So save changes. Right. So I have created two question banks. One is test 02 and the other one is test 01 here. So both the question banks have two questions. Right. Now I'm going to go back to the quiz. So Q1 quiz, edit quiz, add a new question means I can add a new question from here. Again, click and give a question. Again, I want to add the questions from a question bank. I can click the question bank and I can select the question bank from here. Test 1. If I'm going to give one question, only one question from this question bank, I can select that and add selected question to the quiz. So you can see the question is added. Again, if I'm going to add another question from the other question bank, I can go to add from question bank and I can select the other question bank from here. I can select the question and add it. So now you can see I have added two questions to the quiz, but from different question banks. Again, these two questions are fixed. Every student may see the same question, but you can shuffle them, right? For the other lesson, I'm going to delete these ones. I'm going to delete this. So now my requirement is I have two question banks. I want to add two questions for the quiz, but the questions must be random from each question bank. So this is how you can do it. Let's say we have 40 questions in one question bank and another 40 questions in another question bank. We're going to create a quiz with 20 questions. So we can add questions randomly. So you can add a random question. Here I am going to select the question bank. Question test 1. So that question bank has two questions. And here you can select how many number of questions that you're going to select from this question bank. Here I'm going to select only one from this question bank and add random question. So think that you have a question, you have 40 questions in your question bank and you're going to give only 30 questions to the quiz. So what you can do, you can click here, random questions, and select your question bank from this one category, and you can increase this to 30. So if you have 40 questions there, the LMS will automatically select questions from that one and add to the quiz. So each student will have different questions there. Okay, so I have another question bank there, then I'm going to add another one, a random question. So in this time, I'm going to select the second category, test 2. I have two questions there, so I'm going to select only one. Add random question. Right, now I'm going to say this. Okay. Right, let's say timing 18th 10 a.m. to, let's increase this to right. So I'm going to log out from my one and again log in as a student. Now they can see the quiz. Attempt quiz now because it is available now. Attempt quiz. Start attempt. So they will see only one question in one page. If we set that to no, they will see multiple questions in one page. Again, from this one, they can navigate to the questions. So I'm going to select the answer. And next page. And finish attempt. Submit all and finish. So here you can see these are the things that student can see. This is the feedback A, the overall feedback, because I have allowed that one, and again marks I have allowed. So you can see this is the summary that students see. Again, there is another button, re-attempt the quiz. That is because I have given unlimited attempts to the, I have allowed unlimited attempts to the student. So if you select that to 1, student will not see this icon here. And again, the overall feedback will be shown here again. I'm going to log out. Right, I'm going to do some modification to the quiz. In some cases, overall feedbacks, if you want, you can add some images as well. So instead of this one, I'm going to delete this and add an image. And make sure that you have you're going to select the suitable size for that one. I'm going to say 100. Insert. And for the next one also, I'm going to add another one. Again, make sure that you select the correct size for this, a suitable one. Okay. Now I'm going to save this. Log out and log in as a student. Please. Now we can see the feedback is shown here. And this is the overall feedback. And the reattempt quiz is there, so I'm going to reattempt the quiz. Because I have allowed student to do multiple attempts to the quiz. Okay, here I'm going to select. You can see a new question is here, right? Because we have selected the random questions. Again, the other question is shown. Submit all and finish. Now you see the mark is given as C because we haven't given any photo there, right? Okay, so the other important thing is when the student attempts several times, now we can see here, right? The first attempt, second attempt in this student one, and log out. Okay. So now I'm going to change again. I'm going to close the quiz now. So let's say time is right. So now the quiz is closed. So I'm going to go into the students one again. Right here. Now the student can't access the quiz. You can see there is no button to attempt the quiz, but he can see the result. And again, review option is there because we have allowed student to review after quiz is closed in settings. So what they can do now, click there and see. You can see here the answer. This is wrong. The student has provided is wrong, and the correct answer is yes. And here the correct answer is 6 and it is right. So like that they can see the correct answers and the answers that they have given. Right. So that is about quizzes. Okay. So these are the things that we're gonna discuss today in LMS. Chat room and the choices or the question, again the feedback form and quizzes and how to create question banks. Again, if you have question banks in the in the previous LMS, if you wish to import them into this subject, I mean in this new LMS, that is also possible. So we'll enable the previous LMS and we'll let you know how we can do it by tomorrow. Again, if you have any questions, I can answer now.
that is limited,
Sorry, madam, I couldn't hear you.
can't we limit the attempt number of attempts? That is,
Sorry,
student, we are giving only the 2 attempts, likewise.
Yeah, madam. There's a place here. Turn editing on and edit settings. Here in grade section, attempts allowed. So in
Right.
point you can select, madam, how many attempts that you're gonna go give.
Right. Okay.
It is better that you give one only, because after that they can change that action.
Right. Okay. The other one, actually, that is we also not having chance to see the that is view of side of students like you to check the our things.
Yeah. There is a way, madam. So that is that much not applicable. But what you can do here, when you go here and you can switch role and select student. So then your role will be selected the student, and the student view will be shown to you, madam.
Right. Okay. Switch role.
Right. And the last thing, when you're going to grade this one quiz, and you can see the attempts here. So these are the attempts and these are the marks. If you want, you can download these marks as Excel sheet. And one important thing here, in some cases, students may complain that they had some poor internet connection and they couldn't do the quiz, so they got some interruptions between while they are doing it, attempting the quiz. So in that case, what you can see, the status is not finished. So if you're going to allow that student to do the same quiz again, you have to select the student and you have to delete the selected attempt. Otherwise, if you have allowed only one attempt to the student, they can't do it again. So you better select this one and delete that attempt. So all the student data regarding to that quiz will be deleted, and you can ask the student to re-attempt the quiz. Okay. So you are welcome for any other question if you have.
Can we repeat the same reuse, not repeat, in fact, can we reuse the same quiz again in the future?
Okay, quiz means if we have created the question in the question bank.
Yeah, that's okay. Then we can import, no?
Yeah, otherwise you duplicate this one, sir.
Duplicate. Okay.
If there are some students miss the quiz, what you can do, just duplicate the quiz and ask them to attempt that one.
Another question: Can we choose? Sorry.
You have to mute the other one, sir.
Yeah, there are two computers.
Mute means sound. You have to mute the sound.
Okay. Now I forgot the question. Akila, can we give a quiz for only selected students?
Yes, I check on that, sir, because you asked that earlier also.
Yes.
It gives only this feature, I mean, restricted access and restriction here. These are the restrictions that you can only add the grade user profile and this one. So you can select user profile. In that case, you can say or something greater than or equal like that. So we can't select student by student and restrict them accessing the quiz. There is no option still. I'll check on that, sir, and let you know, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Still there is no such option.
Okay.
Now, Akila, in the participant list, there is an option that we can group them, no?
In the participants, yes. Let's see. In this one, sir?
Yeah, we have an option called groups. The third one,
Here.
third column. Yeah. So when we group them, is it possible to give test or the quizzes group wise?
I'll check on that. I couldn't check actually, sir. I'll study that and let you know tomorrow.
Okay.
Are there any other questions?
Okay. There are no other questions. We can wind up the session because we have completed the things for today.
Okay. Thank you everyone for attending today's workshop as well. And we have completed LMS related contents today, but it doesn't mean that all our questions or all our issues have been addressed. So if you have any unsolved issues, please let us know. You can write to direct SDC, or otherwise you can write to the to Akila or Dr. Upanet, and we'll try to help you out to sort out the issues that you face in the future. And also I would like to remind you that there will be another workshop tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. That is on tools for preparation of online materials. That will be interesting, and I invite you all to attend the tomorrow's workshop as well. And at the same time, I would like to thank everyone for attending today's workshop. At the same time, thank you, Mr. Akila Jayasankar, for helping us to conduct this workshop. That was really useful exercise.
Dr. Deevathura, may
yes.
I ask if I can access the recordings of these somewhere?
Yes, of course, Dr. Manjula. We are creating a SDC LMS for SDC2, where we'll upload this videos. Since the videos are bulky, Akila proposed to upload them into the YouTube, and then the YouTube link can be shared in the LMS. Or otherwise, I can write you an email including the YouTube link. That we'll do soon, and let you know how you can access it. Right?
Thank you.
I think I answered your question, Manjula.
Great. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Then see you tomorrow morning at 9. Bye bye.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks. Welcome.